Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Rob. Joining us today is Rosie.
Hello, everyone.
Who recently has played Firewall Ultra on PS VR2, being the sequel to Firewall Zero Hero, which I remember on the first PlayStation VR as being a really cool squad-based multiplayer shooter. Firewall Ultra, from what I have heard so far, sounds to be elevating that to new heights, Rosie. So
it is.
Tell me about your experience playing it.
It's absolutely insane. Like, I didn't play the first installment, so this was me going in completely fresh. I was excited to see what PvP in VR was going to be like. There was myself and 3 other members of press, and then we also had 4 developers for the game as well.
So you fought the developers?
No, they were on our team. They were very fair. They split it so that there was 2 members of press and then 2 developers on a team. And they were awesome. They were like, it was really cool because when you're in the game, you can talk to everyone. You get like a little hub menu, you know, where you can go to a shooting range, try out your gun, or just like muck around. We were sliding all over the floor for a bit. It was great fun. But
how do you slide on the floor in VR?
It's like, so you just start sprinting and then you press a button and then it's just like the, you know, when you're doing a first-person shooter.
Very cool.
So it was very cool doing that. And we had a gag about the toilet. We threw a smoke grenade in there, and then all of us were having a laugh saying, oh, it's so smelly in there. It was great fun.
Well, this video is called Why the Multiplayer is like the ultimate multiplayer experience, Rosie. I wasn't imagining that involving throwing grenades in the toilet.
I don't think the developers were expecting that either. But it was really cool because when we first arrived, we were all like, oh, okay, we're putting the equipment on. But rather than them explaining us how the game works in person, we just literally put on the headset. The developers were there waiting, and they explained everything in the game.
I mean, that's cool.
So
what a cool tutorial to get.
Yeah,
like,
it was really cool.
Inside of a VR game with the developers there.
Yeah.
So like when you see, I mean, one of my favorite things about playing squad-based shooters is all like the little emotes you can do with each other and pointing and gesturing and stuff. I imagine in VR there's like a real elevation to that. Like, can you see each other's bodies and wave and all
so
that
you
kind of
can
jazz?
see each other's bodies and wave. So when we went there, I had set up a camera, so I was the last one to hop in and get ready to listen to how the game works. But when I put on the headset, I could hear them say, oh, is this player, they're not moving, are they all right, is there any issues? And as soon as I would put it on, I gave a big wave. I was like, hi, sorry I'm late. I'm late.
I love doing that in VR.
It was great fun.
It's so immersive when, you know, you don't have to think about what button do I have to press to point.
Yeah.
You can just do it. So in terms of like actually playing though, and communicating with your squad mates, like how does being in VR elevate all of those elements? Like,
it's fantastic.
It
really does bring you into the realism of it. So when you're actually in the match, so we did PvP rather than PvE. So the beauty of it was that our team, when we were speaking, we could hear each other, but the opposing team couldn't.
Right.
Which is fantastic when, you know, you're trying to plan, or like when we could see someone coming up to a door or something, we're like, oh, someone's coming up to that door there. Okay, let's prepare, or stick with me, follow me, and you two go that way and stuff. So that was insane. It was really immersive. For me personally, it was a bit overwhelming at first because I could tell that the developers definitely knew what they were doing. Of course they did. They developed the game. And I was just there like, okay, I'm going to try my absolute best. Like, gun ready. I was like, I'm just going to follow you. Tell me what to do. Like, fully sneaking around with them. So it was just really immersive and brilliant. And those moments where you do hear someone under attack, or they're like, oh, there's 2 of them coming up on the stairs, and then you have that moment of panic when you're like, oh, quick, turn around, make my way to the stairs, and you see a little outline when someone gets like knocked down.
Yeah.
So before you die, you can crawl on the floor for a bit, and if the opposing team kill you, you're dead. If not, then you can be revived by your other party members. And the moment where you can hear your teammates panicking, they're like, I'm being shot. And then you just see them like go down crawling. It really is just like, oh my god, I heard them in that moment, I have to go help them immediately.
I got that playing the first game. I remember now, like, there's something really, you know, when your friend gets downed in a shoot and you run and revive them, but when it's in VR and you're like actually talking to someone and you're seeing their real body gestures and you're making a plan, and then someone from the other team comes out and gets one of you, it's like, oh my god, my friend, no.
And it's brilliant as well because there are PSVR2 features in Firewall Ultra which are fantastic.
Yeah.
And two of my favourite ones were not only part of the immersion but also part of like your involvement with the game. So first of all, with the immersion, there's some brilliant haptics in the headset. When you first spawn into an area, for example, you feel the little rumble and it feels as if you're like waking up to go into battle. Kind of, like every time I did, I was like, okay, I'm ready now. I felt the rumble, we're going in. And my favourite one is the use of eye tracking, because even if you do die, like, you know, you're crawling around, the other party's just knocked you out, you're gone, you can still be a great help to your team because you go into security camera mode and you can flip between the cameras. And if you, with your eyes, look, and you can find the opposing team, if you look at them, they have a red outline, and that red outline will be visible to the rest of your team.
So you get to have fun even if you're defeated.
Yeah, so even if you're defeated, you can still be helpful for your team. I had one moment where when I died, I went into the camera mode. I was fully staring at someone to give them just the red border around them. I was like, they're here. You can see them. They're here. Like eyes. I don't. You know when your eyes, you're so intense. You're like, please, just don't. My eyes widened. I was like, look at them. They're there. They're hiding by the door. I can see them. So like that was an absolutely brilliant use of the eye tracking. And there's fantastic uses of eye tracking throughout the whole game, like when you're quick selecting a weapon when you're in the match, and you can just pop up the little menu, look, bada bing, bada boom, you've got the new weapon.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. There was also, if you have a flash grenade, again with the immersion, it really does feel like
you're chucking it in a toilet, for real.
That was the smoke grenade.
Oh, smoke grenade, sorry.
With the smoke grenade, it really does get incredibly cloudy. You genuinely can't see a thing. But with flash grenades, when the whole screen just goes white, but if you close your eyes, it will protect you and your character's eyes. So you don't...
I love that.
So you can like recover from it a bit quicker.
So if you see the flash grenade come in, quickly shut your eyes.
Yeah, shut your eyes.
That's so cool. But you... actually just shutting your eyes is a thing you can do to avoid the flash grenade.
I mean, obviously, I always forgot because I panicked every time.
Well, this is the cool thing, right? You have to... It really sort of simulates that feeling you'd get if you're in that actual situation.
Yeah.
You gotta keep a cool head. You gotta not... Oh, God, flash grenade.
Flash grenade.
Shut your eyes quickly.
100%.
Oh, that's so good. That's so cool.
And one I loved as well, which I accidentally discovered because one of the devs said, oh, someone's figured out how to use the flashlight. But obviously you've got a flashlight which you could turn on or off. But if you point it up, like even accidentally, if you point it up at another player's face, then the light will blind them as well.
Oh, nice.
So I accidentally discovered this in the hub area because I didn't know I triggered the flashlight. And then I accidentally flashed it in a developer's face and they were like, oh, someone's found the flashlight. I was like, I'm sorry, how do I turn it off? When you're just learning the controls and everything. But after that, I thought, I could use this as a tactic. I could, if someone like, you know, barges through a door and you want to stun them, just turn on the flashlight and just quickly be like, wham! And then they're like, ah! So it was really cool. And just, again, another brilliant detail. Because you see, like, for example, in The Last of Us, if you flash your light at Ellie's face, then she's always like, put that away, Joel. But when you're actually in the VR and it happens to you, you're like, oh, wow, come on, mate. That's not cool. Come on now. That's not fair. So you really do feel as if you're part of the, you know, the video game trope of flashlight in the face.
And I guess the whole structure of the PvP is so you can be revived by your teammates, but if they don't get to you in time, that's it. You're out the game. No respawns. You go to security camera look-in mode.
Yes, that's the one.
So in terms of like the pacing, then I guess it's like quite a slow, careful, methodical tactical experience rather than running around all guns blazing.
That depends on how you play.
I guess it does.
We played on two separate maps. One of them was like an outdoor sort of situation. I remember if you went outside, it was raining a lot.
Right.
And then the other one was a new map. So that was very exciting to explore as well. But the missions that we were given in the demo were that you arrive at the team defending a laptop, or you were the team who wanted to hack the opposing team's laptop.
Similar to the first game, I remember,
Yeah, so again, if you were defending, I remember when we first tried it, I think we were defending the laptop at first. And you know when you're getting to grips with the game, you're like, okay, what am I doing? We just I spread out a little bit and I just thought, okay, where are the opposing team? Because again, I went in there thinking, I'm just going to go find them and knock them out. But then later on was when I started thinking, hang on, actually, the rest of my team have run off. I'm going to stay with the laptop, cover the door, and I'm going to really surprise them when they come in, thinking they're being all smart and sneaking in.
I wouldn't expect a member of the defending team to be in the room with the laptop. That's really surprising.
Well, to be fair, when they opened the door, I said to the rest of the team, I was like,
surprise!
I was like, they're in there, surprise! And I think I did shout surprise, and I managed to shoot one of them on the floor.
Nice.
But because there was two of them, to their credit, I was by myself. I was being the fool there. I knocked one of them to the floor. The other mate got me, and then when you're both crawling on the floor for a bit, he revived his friend, and then they just finished me off. I was like, you know what, that's a fair call. But I felt proud that I defended.
I love you just coming up with all these kind of tactics, though, and when it does come out, a 4-player access squad.
Oh, it'll be fantastic.
Going up against the community, maybe.
Yeah, that would be, honestly, that would be brilliant.
So cool.
Playing, 4-player VR is just phenomenal. When you've each got your own individual headsets, you're all in it together, you're all being completely immersed in it. So genuinely, it is fantastic. Like, an ultimate PSVR2 multiplayer experience.
I can't wait. What was I guess the ultimate thing? What were the guns like? What were the weapons like?
They were really cool. So there's also some things just to help with a bit of the comfort as well. So for example, if you hold on to a trigger, you can hold on to the gun, but you can also just simply press a button and your arms will sort of stick on the gun.
Right, so they've got different options.
There are different options, which was really handy and lovely to know as well. But it was very immersive in the sense of you're there. I think when I was playing, my arms were fully in the position of right, I've got my gun here, bringing it up to try and aim.
So what's the aiming like? Does it feel super intuitive when you're aiming?
Yeah, you have to look down the lenses and everything. At first it took me a while to get used to, but that's also because I had the complete wrong setup. I went in there first of all with a shotgun, I think, and then a pistol. But then as soon as I went to the assault rifle, which I think it might have had a laser sight, or definitely the aiming was much nicer for me. I was like, okay, brilliant, right, here I go. So fully going in there, aiming, you see, and it's just like good old VR aiming and shooting. So it really does add to the immersion, the precision as well, and also the panic of when you are shooting. It does feel like you are shooting, like things go a bit more scattered and stuff, so you have to try and keep calm to get those precise shots. But I just can't emphasize enough how immersive it was. Even when, as I said earlier, when I was defending the laptop and I was looking at the doors, I hid in a corner, I was crouching, and I was leaning over because there was a door behind me, just constantly looking at every single door. So it's just constantly using your awareness, your eyes, everything all the time.
There's nothing like a first-person shooter in VR, I think, for that. Nothing else can match that immersion of physically actually kneeling behind cover and peering out behind cover.
Yeah.
It's the button, you can't do everything with the buttons. It's up to you and your actual body to play well. So you get a real sense of what would I actually be like in this situation.
Yeah.
And most of the time, for me, it's bad.
Oh yeah, honestly, by the end of it, I was just I'm so sorry. I was usually one of the first players to die, but when I didn't, I felt really proud. But that's just because PvP is not my strongest forte when it comes to playing video games, but I had an absolutely fantastic time. And when I did knock someone out, I felt super chuffed because I was like, I did that in VR. As in, when you're aiming in VR, I was like, I aimed, I did that shot, I got that other human player as well, because they're also thinking the same. It's not as if you're up against AI and you're like, it's just a in-game computer play, it's an actual other person. So it's like, haha, I beat you. I think at one point another member of PR was like, come on Rosie, I'm gonna get you, and I was like, oh, not before you get me, mate. And then they did get me because they're very good at VR shooting games.
Well, I believe you can do PvE in the game.
Yes, you can.
But obviously PvP, there's a real heightened tension there, and I cannot wait. I really can't wait to do a 4-player access
the moment as well,
taking on the world.
It'll be fantastic. The moment as well, quickly, when, like you say, when it is PvP and you can see other players walking around and you're not going to attack yet, you're just seeing where they're going,
biding your time,
and they don't know that you're there. It's fantastic. It really is just I can see you.
I can't wait. It sounds amazing. Well, thank you for that info, Rosie. That is Firewall Ultra, coming soon to PlayStation VR2. Let us know in the comments if you're looking forward to the game. Give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything from the world of PlayStation. Thanks for watching.